Assalamualaikum and hi. This is QMT presentation from me, Raja Iskandar, Qaim Arman and Farhan. Next, you can see these are our group members.
Our group has been tasked with examining the dataset and providing actionable insights. Recognizing the diverse needs of students, we, as a team of analysts, aim to identify key objectives influencing academic performance and make data driven decisions to allocate resources effectively. To support this objective, detailed data has been collected from recent diploma graduates, including information on gender, diploma programs, CGPA, preferred study methods, and individual support systems. This data presents an opportunity to analyze trends, uncover challenges, and identify areas where additional support may be required to enhance the academic journey of future students. The purpose of this analysis is to provide actionable insights that will guide the department in making informed decisions that promote student success. By understanding performance trends and identifying specific support needs, the department can implement strategies to improve academic outcomes, ensure equitable access to resources, and tailor support services to different student groups. This will ultimately contribute to a more positive and successful educational experience at KPMIM. There are three key objectives of the analysis. Number one, understanding performance trends. To analyze the relationship between various factors such as gender, diploma programs, and study methods, and how these influence CGPA. Number two, identifying support needs. To determine the types of support systems preferred by students and assess their effectiveness in improving academic performance. Number three, optimizing resource allocation. To guide the department in allocating resources effectively, ensuring that support services are targeted where they are most needed. Moving on to the data sampling. To ensure the data is representative of the overall student population, simple random sampling was used to select participants for the study. In SRS, each individual in the population has an equal chance of being chosen, reducing chances of bias and ensuring that the sample reflects the diversity of the larger group. This method was chosen for its simplicity and effectiveness in generating a balanced and unbiased dataset, which is critical for making accurate and generalizable conclusions about the factors influencing student success at KPMIM.
Next is the lottery method. According to the photo beside for the simple random sampling, the lottery method is used for the selection of 80 students from the data set. The steps are as following. There are 5 steps. First, write the amount of students ranging from 1 to 200 in slips of paper. Second, place the slips in a small box. Third, mix the slips randomly. Fourth, draw the required number of slips, which are 80 slips of paper. And lastly, insert the selected students from the required number of slips into the dataset. Pie chart. There are 2 pie charts. First, for preferred study method, we can see that the highest number is 40, which is self-study. Next, group study has 22 people. And lastly, the lowest number is 18, which is both study method. Next, for the diploma program, the highest number is 22 people, which is DEC program. Next, DIA program have 21 people. After that, DCS program have 19 people. And lastly, the lowest number is 18, which is DCD program. Next, bar chart. There are 3 types of bar chart. First is comparison of gender and support system. In this bar chart, we can see that male have more family support system than peers. Meanwhile, female have more peers support system than family. Next, comparison between diploma program and preferred study method. The DIA, DEC, DCS and DCD students are more preferred to use self-study method than group study and both study method. And lastly, comparison between gender and preferred study method. We can see that males are more preferred to use self-study method than group study and both study method. As for female, they are more preferred to use group study method than self-study and both method. Histogram. In this histogram for CGPA shows that 2.41 to 2.80 have the lowest number of students, which is 9. And 2 to 2.40 have 14 students. Next, for CGPA, 2.81 to 3.20 have 15 students. Meanwhile, as for 3.21 to 3.60 have second highest number of students, which is 20 students. And lastly, the highest number of students is 22 students, which have CGPA 3.61 to 4. The frequency polygon for CGPA, it shows that 2.0 to 2.4 have 14 students and 2.41 to 2.8 have 9 students. As for 2.81 to 3.2 have 15 students and 3.21 to 3.6 have 20 students. Lastly, 3.61 to 4 have 22 students. Next, the OG for CGPA. It shows that there is a lot of improvement among students from 2.0 to 4.0.
Next, as you can see from frequency, this is what we got from frequency table for diploma program in accounting. So this is it, the table for frequency table. And now we're gonna move it into the calculation for mean, mode, and median for diploma program DIA. So first mean, the formula given is total FX divided by total F. So we just inserted what we got in the frequency table and put it in the formula, and you will got 3.20. So as for the mode, the formula is lower boundary plus with F0 minus F1 divided by F0 minus F1 plus F0 minus F2 and multiply it with class width. So we will got 2.81. So for the median, it's a bit complicated because we need to determine the location of median class first. So the total of diplomas in accounting students divide by 2. So we got 10.5. But we round off it and we got 11. So you look at the frequency table, the 11 and the median class will be 3.21 until 3.60. So just put it into the formula of median and you will got 3.27. Next is for the first quartile. So we need to determine the location of first quartile first. 21 students divided by 4, we got 5.25. So we round off it and we got 5. So look at the frequency table, where is the 5? And you will got 2.81 until 3.20. So just put it into the formula and we got 2.87. So this is the location of first quartile. And now for the third quartile, we need to determine the location of third quartile first, which is 3 multiply with 21 divided by 4, you will got 15. So look at the 15 and you will got the class is 3.21 until 3.60. So just put it into the formula and we got 3.54. And as for the standard deviation, the calculation will be a little bit long. The formula given is S is equal to square root of total of fx square divided by n minus 1 minus the total of fx square and divide by n multiply with n minus 1. So you will got 0.4983. And now we move on to the Pearson measure squareness. So the given formula is 3 multiplied with x minus median divided by s. So you will got negative 0.515. And for the coefficient of variation, which is CV is equal to x per x multiplied with 100%. So you will got the answer in percentage, which is 15.59%. And now this is the frequency table for diploma program for DEC. So here is it, the frequency table, as you can see. And now we're going to move on to the calculation for mean, mode, and median. And as for the median, the formula is the total of fx divided by total f. So just insert it what you got from the frequency table for the EC student, and you will got 3.20. And as for the mode, the formula is the lower boundary plus f0 minus f1 divided by f0 minus f1 plus f0 minus f2. So the total, you just multiply it with class width, and you put it, and the answer is 3.21. And as for the median, you need to determine the location of median class first. The total of student is 21 divided by 2, and you 10.5, and we round off it, and we got 11. So you see the 11 is at the median class, which is 3.21 until 3.60. So just put it into the formula, and we will got 3.27. So next is for the first quartile. In the first quartile, we need to determine the location of first quartile, which is 21 divided by 4. We got 5.25, and we round off it, we got 5. And then the first class quartile is at 2.41 until 2.80. So you just insert it into the formula, and you will got 2.67. And as for the third quartile, we determine first the location of third quartile, which is 3. You multiply it with the 22 divided by 4. You will got 16.5, which is 17. So the third quartile class is 3.61 until 4. So you just put it into the formula, and you will got 3.67. And for the standard deviation, the square root of total fx square minus with n minus 1, minus with the total of fx, and then you square it with divide it with n, multiple with n minus 1. So just put it into the formula, and you will got 0.5584. And now for Pearson measures squeeze and coefficient of variation of DEC students. So first, the Pearson measures squeeze. The formula is 3 uh, multiple with x minus median divided by s. So just put it into the formula, and you got negative 0.4029. And as for the coefficient of variation, the formula is s divided by x and multiple with 100%. So the answer, of course, you will got it in percentage, which is you will got 14.47%. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Findings and discussion. Based on the two categories, the greater mean value is 3.196 for DIA, and while DEC only has a mean value of 3.169. However, for mode value, DEC has a greater value of 3.61, meanwhile, DIA only has a mode value of 3.21. Next, for the median value, both DIA and DEC courses share the same value of 3.271. For the value of the first quartile, DIA has a greater value of 2.845, while DEC only has a value of 2.672. For the value of the third quartile, DEC has a greater value of 3.671, while DIA has a value of 3.538. For standard deviation, DEC has a greater value of 0.5584, while DIA has a value of 0.4983. For Pearson's measure of skewness, DEC has a greater value of negative 0.4029, while DIA has a value of negative 0.4515. Last but not least, the percentage value of the coefficient of variation is higher for DEC by 17.62% compared to the percentage value of DIA, which is 15.59%. The differences between these two categories from coefficient of variation are we can see that the DEC program have many greater value than the DIA program. This is because the requirements for DEC program is an interview before getting accepted into the college, and this course can get the best of the best students than DIA program students. Last but not least, moving on to the conclusions and recommendations. In conclusion, there are some recommendations that should be implemented by the Student Affairs Department in order to enhance student support and programs. Number one, improve student support services. Offer more consultation for academic purposes, mentoring, and tutoring, especially for students who are facing challenges with their studies. Personalized help can guide them through challenges. Number two, allocate more funds in study resources. Offer more study tools, for example, online platforms, quiet study areas, and group study sessions. To emphasize, this will help students find what works best for them. Number three, encourage peer learning. Set up study groups or mentorship programs where senior students can help junior students. This builds a sense of camaraderie and boosts confidence within themselves. Number four, support mental health and well being. Ensuring students have access to mental health services like counseling and stress relief programs.